Hi there. We're talking today about the contacts form. Contact when you meet with the client for the first time or when you're working with the client's details, you need to know this kind of thing. Generally, email will already be there. If there isn't, always ask the client at some stage um, about their mobile number, their phone number, so that we have as many details as possible for them. The other thing to ask always is the closest city. Where does the person actually stay? Because that helps. I mean, usually you'll know because you're sitting with them, but sometimes you'll be on the phone. So always ask them. Then we can send an email to say we're going to be in this place at this time in this city if you want to come. We don't send it to all the people that it doesn't apply to. What bank it is? Um, it isn't always only one bank. If not, just put what the main bank is, as long as we've got one. Um, person allocated can be who is actually dealing with it. Um, you don't usually fill that in as client liaison unless you're allocating it to yourself, so you're going to actually be doing the work. That's probably most of the time what you'll do, you'll allocate it to you. Reappoint status, if the person doesn't turn up, you still convert them in when the appointment's made, you convert it from a lead to a contact. And then if the person doesn't turn up, you fill this bit in. So they didn't turn up, so what exactly happened? They didn't arrive and they said, they communicated. They didn't arrive and they didn't say they weren't come. Or they need to come back with more information. So they did come, but they need to come back, or they need to think about it and then come back. So anybody that wants to think about it or whatever needs to be phoned again so that they can come back in and we can sign them up. Very few people sign up or pay money before they come in again, but sometimes they do. But mostly you try and reappoint them if they haven't signed a contract or agreed to pay any money at the first appointment. And estimated dates. Well, let's do court dates first. If there's a court date coming up, you put it in here. It's a date. So it should be a date. It's not a date, but it will be a date soon. And estimated dates, similarly. Yeah, that's better. Um, estimated dates that maybe papers need to be back by, or anything else that's significant. But this should only be for court dates. Oh no, this is a date. So you can fill in a date there. Date of the first meeting, that should be filled in already if you're talking to the person. Otherwise, you fill in the date that you're talking to them if it's a first meeting. If you're coming back, obviously you make it a second meeting. It's essential you fill these things in because we run reports to say who are we seeing that day. If this is not filled in, we won't know that we're seeing people and we can double book them. So even if it's already on Google Docs, it has to be in here. So if you're going through it with the client, it's not filled in, then fill it in. Next contact date is when you want to see them next, or when you want to contact them next. So if they say, look, at the end of the month, this is coming in, please contact me then you mark it down there, what date. Um, and then is at the point where you've got documents done. Actually, let's do work first. Is there work needed on this at the current time? So, and if so, who's doing it? Is it admin or is it legal? Now, even when you put something to legal, admin will sometimes do some work. So this should really say admin only, and this should say legal. So if it's a precedent, something we've got something that admin can fill in, you can fill in with the client, then you do that. And if it's something completely different, you're going to need a new precedent, then it goes to legal. Work status, you can put in anything about what the status of the work is. This is something that goes on. It's not just at the first meeting, but at the initial thing you can say initial filing. Filing doesn't mean filing in the filing cabinet. Filing means filing at the court. Or you could say responding to opponent needs done. So whatever needs done, you put it in there. And any notes on what needs done, fill in there. You actually get more than that little box to fill it in. It just looks small. And then a summary of the case um, is just what it says. It means just paste in or write in. What is this? It's an SFTL. It's a rescission. It's a over indebtedness. It's a debt review. So you write in basically what it is, and if there's any unique features, anything that differs from the normal one, you put it in here. what kind of a case is it. And then once if there's going to be documents needing filed, then you write yes, they will be needing filed. It's just yes or no. And documents needing served. And then once you've served them or filed them, you take that little tick off, and you put in, when the courier comes back with the stuff, you put down the date that they were filed, the date that they were served. That's a kind of ongoing thing. You don't do that in the first meeting. So let's leave that one for now, and we'll come back and discuss payment aspects in a minute, in another lecture.